Alrighty, guys. This week, let's hope I don't have to cut the video short due to losing my voice, coughing fits, what have you. Uh, but this week, I did a little therapy. My therapy is just digging through long box after long box of dollar books. I gave myself a $10 limit. I think I made it to 6. Just finding stuff I would like to add to my collection, stuff that I would like to just try reading. But before we get to that, we gotta get to our 2 from the tomb. So this week I was digging through some of my Marvel books, and I decided to do some shiny, happy books. Maybe not so much happy, but they're shiny. So I went with Magneto issue number 0 with the Bill Sienkiewicz cover. I bought this book off the rack back in the day. Those that know me know my dislike of the X-Men back in that day. I wasn't a huge fan of them. More of a fan now, at least the Chris Claremont stuff. I'm not too familiar with anything that's going on currently, but I've been reading all the trade paperbacks and stuff. But I did buy this because I just thought it was so cool. I thought the Magneto artwork on this was pretty slick. Plus, it was shiny. And I know, especially this next book coming up, a lot of people like to crap all over foil books and all that stuff from the 90s, It's the 90s again, man. I'm here to tell you the 90s were pretty damn cool as far as comic book collecting, especially the early 90s. It was a lot of fun. It didn't seem like too many people were feeling self-important, I guess. The 90s ruined my comic book collection. Maybe that'll be the title of my bid this week. Nah. So speaking of ruining my comic book collection, I decided to pull out the old Wolverine 1/2, or Wolverine half, I should say. It was the Wizard World, Wizard Magazine mail-in. I bought this like for $1, or no, I can't remember why I got this. I'm not sure if somebody gave this to me, actually. Yeah, I'm pretty sure somebody gave this to me. But it came with the certificate of authenticity. I guess just in case somebody was trying to make copies of this book, I could whip that out and say, hey man, this is legit. But yeah, this is this week's 2 from the tomb. Last thing I'll say about the X-Men, I did, however, much as I didn't really care for the X-Men, it wasn't that I didn't care for them back in the day, I just really didn't care for their fans. But I always dug Wolverine. I always thought he was a cool character. I even collected bits and pieces of this solo run, which I think he's a solo character. Him being part of a team makes little sense to me. I think a couple years ago I read an issue he's like teaching in the school or something like that. I'm like, man, I don't know what the hell is going on here, and it's just not for me. So my dollar books, I got some pretty decent books here they were $1 a piece. Picked this up. It's pretty beat up, I'd say. I believe it came with the Spawn figure, maybe the first series, maybe. Not 100% sure. But yeah, it's all kind of beat up. I imagine most of the ones that are not steel sealed, I think you can still buy this with a figure in it for like $10 or something like that, or $15. Yeah. So anytime you can pick up some Spawn books, even like this, for $1, you should pick them up, and I do too. Save that one for last here. Speaking of Spawn, found issues 2 and 3 of Violator. I had no idea these were written by Alan Moore, so now I'm really interested in finding issue number 1. So it's only a 3-part series, so I already got 2 and 3. So unfortunately, I just can't read it till I get that till I get the first part, which shouldn't be too hard to find. But yeah, it's Alan Moore and it's Greg Capullo art in it, so you know it's gonna be pretty damn good. Yeah, but I had no idea that like I said, Alan Moore wrote the stories for this Violator miniseries. But for $1 a piece, I couldn't pass it up. So let's see here what we got here. So I'm trying to finish my Night Quest Detective Comics run. It's only taken me like 30 years to finish it. But it's got a Kelly Jones cover. I think Kelly Jones on that his Knight's Quest Nightfall run. I think he homaged himself like 3 or 4 times. But ended up finding that's issue number 668 and 670. So I believe that completes my Night Quest run. I was looking at my CLZ app, and I was missing these 2 issues, and they were so happened to be there. There was like a huge run of Detective Comics, and I am a Batman collector, but I'm not trying to like collect every damn issue of Detective Comics. Just don't have the patience for it. Just don't even have the need for it. I'm probably going to try to collect the Silver Age, starting with the 12 centers up to issue 626 or 627, whatever that anniversary issue is. Well, obviously I'll go a little bit higher now. I'll probably I forget when Night Quest ends. Yeah, I can't remember what issue it ends at. Probably 675 or something like that. Yeah, but I'm a huge Asbat fan. Gene Paul Valley fan. We can take a look in here. Yeah, I'm looking at the other issues. So I think it goes up past 670, 680 maybe. Is when all the Return of Batman. But I've never read this issue. Oh, I didn't know Barry Kitson did the artwork in it. That's right. It probably said it right on the front here. Yeah, I didn't even notice that. I was so used to Graham Nolan doing the artwork on it. So, wow, that's crazy. I totally forgot about it. The Game Genie. But I always loved the. I'm probably in the minority of being a Azrael Baffin. A couple years ago, they did I guess like an Elseworlds type storyline with Asbats, and I could have been more happier. Gave me enough quench that thirst. But yeah, I've always said they got enough Batman books. They could have easily did where Gene Paul Valley stays Batman. I've always said it would have been probably more interesting to see where that went instead of having 75 other titles of Bruce Wayne. Seriously, you could have one with Dick Grayson as Batman, have a series of that. Just see where they all go. I gotta get new bags on these damn things, man. You can tell it's from the 90s. But the cool thing about this haul is, not that those books aren't cool, was that I was able to find 2 more Batman books here. And you can see the DC Universe logo. So, not that I'm trying to hunt down rare books or anything like that, but these are a little bit more. There's plenty of videos out there. All you have to do is type DC Universe logo and you'll learn all about it. But a little bit more on the rare side of the normal issues. I believe they came in like 10 packs. Some of them came in like, like the Walmart style of blind bags that they have now. I don't know if they're called blind bags, but yeah, there's no like. I might have a video coming up, hint hint, of Walmart, but you know what I'm talking about. There's like a bunch of them in there. Sorry, my daylight disappeared. Get some light on this action. But like I was saying, they came in like 10 combo packs and stuff like that. But anytime I find them, especially like Batman or Detective, I don't go hunting, Supergirl or anything, stuff I don't collect. That was my dollar books. See, I got so about $7 I spent. I got like 2 shows, possibly 3 coming up, so I don't want to spend any money. I'm not sure if I'm going to spend a whole lot of money at the shows either. I'm more or less trying to organize my collection and weed out some of the stuff that I can live without. And it's ended up being a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. But while I was there, I also picked up something off the shelf. So I picked up Jim Blet's Tarot, Witch of the Black Rose. That influencer, Mr. Rigor Mortis, got me onto this title. So I think I got the last 2 issues of this run. So I'm probably going to put it on my pull list for a little bit. I might do a year of it. But I enjoyed it. I can't show too much inside. Yeah, sure we can. This is the PZ channel, man. We ain't messing around here. we don't deal with no censorship. But yeah, you can see like the inside of it. It's like this whole book's in that shade. But yeah, I've been enjoying this a lot. So now that was officially this week's haul. So this week I actually went to the comic shop, so I can do last week's books, possibly 2 weeks ago's books, this week. So last week's, this week's, it's coming up. Speaking of the influencer, Mr. Rigor Mortis, he also got me on this title about a year and a half ago. So it's been on my pull list ever since. It's one of my favorite books. I enjoy reading it. This was made for, I hate to use the term like real comic book fans, but this is, if you don't have this on your pull list, you're missing out. It's one of those, it's almost like how comics should be. You at least get a decent story in here. It's not going to take you 3 seconds to read. 15 splash pages. You get your money's worth out of this book. And I think it's the most, with this and like the Spawn books, you're getting your money's worth. The final issue of Sergeant Rock versus the Army of the Dead. This has been a really fun book. I've read the first 5 issues, so I can't wait to read this. But yeah, it's been really good. So if you didn't know, Bruce Campbell from Evil Dead 2 fame, Army of Darkness, a bunch of other stuff. He wrote this book. Speaking of pretty sick covers, we got King Spawn issue number 20. I can't believe it's on issue 20 already. It feels like it just came out, issue 1 came out like 4 months ago. But this cover's sick. Of course, you got to go with the facsimile also. I believe Mark's Comic Book Haul, y'all. I think I said that correctly, how he says it. He was talking about, can't remember what issue it is, but this first appearance of Shazam, or to the rest of us collectors, the original Captain Marvel. They wanted it $6.99 for that book, and I just couldn't pull the trigger on it, man. $7 for a freaking reprint is just outrageous. $3.99 is pushing it. I mean, keep hearing everybody been talking about how do we get people back and read the comics. Make these $2.99. Make them $1.99. There's no reason for that, I know they did True Believers a couple years ago. I mean, they sold pretty good. I mean, especially with the first appearances and stuff like that. That people can't, shell out a couple $100. Speaking of that, let's take a look here. But I got like so many reprints of this book, so I'm glad to have. I finally gotta just like decide maybe to spend the money on just getting even a 3.0 copy or something like that. I'm not sure if you guys did this back in the day. I better not say it, man, but I think Columbia House has a hit out on me. Used to order them, be like 13, 14 years old, order like 12 cassettes, tape a penny to the flyer and send it in, and they'd send you all these cassettes. They'd never call them back or anything like that. So I mean, getting all those of course, your credit rating probably got destroyed, but I was 13, so they couldn't do anything. Next up, Lovesick issue number 5. I'm not sure how long the series is going on, but the last 3 issues have been pretty darn good. I've been enjoying it. It's violent, it's bloody. Yeah, it's a PZ special. I didn't even see that. Yeah, was that Sala? VHS tapes. Yeah, but I've been enjoying this book. Maybe a little too much. And finally, another new issue of Verotik Comics. Miotiana. I believe that's how it's pronounced. Got the Shido cover. This is the only cover that they send to the comic shops. There's 2 other covers, which I'll probably end up getting the Simon Bisley one. Because like Big Elbow says, nobody beats the Biz, but I have to order it through their eBay store, so I'll be probably putting an order in for that shortly. So for you Verotik fans, keep on the lookout. Miotiana. She's becoming one of my favorite characters. Um, yeah, I don't like showing too much books I try to support, so I'll give you a little sneak peek, and that'll be about it. But I love that, man. This is just such a great cover. Yeah, Simon Bisley fan cover. Of course, written by Glenn Danzig. There's the back cover. But this is issue number 2. So that was my haul this week. So I'm bringing back Whatcha Readin PZ this week. I decided to do a quick little review of The Riddler Year 1, written by Paul Dano and drawn by Stefan Subic. I absolutely love this book. I only bought the first issue. I know issues 2 and 3 are already out. I'll eventually get them, but I waited for the shop where I go to. I couldn't find the one cover I wanted. Then the second printing came out a couple weeks ago, so I picked that up. I thought this cover was pretty damn cool. So Paul Dano, if you watched the Batman movie that came out, I think was it 2021. He plays the Riddler, and so he wrote a story about the Riddler, which I didn't have high expectations. Word of mouth got around about this book, saying how good it was, and it's just an origin story. It's where Edward meets shows him he's a working guy. He's crunching numbers. Almost comes off a bit like I don't know, like a geek or something like that. Trying not to pick any offensive words, but he comes off like somebody that's really into numbers. We'll just say it like that. But he works in his supervisor there. He's a go-between him and the real guy that runs the company, I guess, and the boss. So anyways, Edward finds some errors in the counting, which I'm guessing the boss didn't want him to find out. So he tells the supervisor. The supervisor goes up to the boss, and then he comes back down and says, "Yeah, everything's cool, Edward. Don't worry about it." Well, that wasn't good for our friend Edward here. So he goes and hunts his the owner of the company or whatever, the CEO, and hunts him down when he's eating dinner at a restaurant. So that probably comes off as creepy as it sounds. But yeah, this is the art in this book also. This guy's channeling his inner Bill Sienkiewicz easily here. I mean, you can tell he's very inspired by that artwork. Just a good story. Quite frankly, I was surprised. I wasn't expecting much other than word of mouth that people said, yeah, it's worth reading. So I can highly recommend issue number 1. Edward comes across with the Riddler there, comes across Batman for the first time. I'm not going to tell any more about it, so you pretty much know where it goes from there. But like I said, I haven't read issues 2 and 3, so I can't recommend the whole series, but I can recommend the first issue. Definitely worth checking out if you can find it in a dollar bin or half off sale or something. Or wait for the trade paperback to come out, which is what I should start doing. But but this is highly recommended. The only thing my criticism about is turning the Riddler into another psychopath killer. You know what I mean? Gotham has God knows how many of those people already. We need people just, robbing a bank or something. Setting up riddles, that he stole artwork or something like that. That's my only criticism. I know where the path this Riddler's going down. Uh, there was a book a couple of years ago. They made comments about it. Like, I believe it was like the secret origins of some Batman villains. Where the Riddler even says, like, this used to be fun before everybody started going crazy. But thanks again, guys. Please check out my Instagram. I'll leave a link down below. And I'll talk to you next time.